Hello Exiles, welcome to a new video and a new update to my explosive concoction of destruction Aristocrat build. And today I'm joining you first of all with a gameplay showcase of my first Maven. Finally my first Maven. Got 3 watchstones. Today I'll be doing Uber Elder and a tier 17s or at least one tier 17 to unlock my last slot on a map device. Yeah, and as you can see, the character's doing pretty well. DPS is respectable. Currently around, I think, 5 million. And as always, the path of building will be included in the description. And yeah, I'll do a couple more upgrades. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about reworking some things in the build, and yeah, this is the current damage. So let's jump into the video. Alright, now in the game, character currently level 90. And yeah, one more gameplay thing. I'll show you one quick if I have a city square or something. Yeah, beach is nice. Some just quick map showcase, life is extra energy shield, nothing crazy. Some quick showcase of how it looks in maps. Yeah, in maps it's not the strong part of the build, but it may look like, yeah, sorry, my first map of the day, so FPS out of the window as always. Yeah, but the clear really isn't the strongest aspect of the build, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel that bad. But immediately when you get some sort of explosions into the build, I tried Herald of Ash yesterday, the build immediately feels like it packs a lot more punch during the clear and is instantly more fun. So I would really recommend getting the Oriat's End flask and just probably replacing diamond or maybe even a ruby flask while mapping to get explosions into the build. And yeah, as you can see, I don't even have a quicksilver flask, so I'm not even that fast, but it doesn't feel slow whatsoever. Especially when you really want to traverse the map, shield charge carries you really hard. Yeah, let's kill the boss and get into the build and the changes I made.
Time to up the stakes. The void
Yep. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, about the overlapping, it seems a bit weird sometimes. I should be overlapping with all my 5 projectiles. However, sometimes it feels like I'm not, especially on the Delve bosses, but I haven't done Delve in quite a while, and I may just not remember how tanky the bosses are. But especially on the Delve bosses, it felt like I'm not overlapping that much, but it may just be that they're tanky. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump into the build. So, I'll start off with the items. As you can see, did a couple changes, and I'll start off with the biggest change, the body armor. I changed from Skin of the Loyal, because I figured that all I really need to get level 30 explosive concoction, although it's currently level 29, I need +2 levels on my body armor. So that means basically wearing any body armor in the game with +1 all socketed, +2 AoE, or +2 projectile. And +2 projectile might be the best thing, or +1 all, because +1 all would affect all your supports and would even affect your inspiration, and from your ascendancy you get +3 levels to all non-exceptional support gems. And my inspiration is currently level 24, but on level 25 it gives you 6% more LE damage per inspiration charge and not 5, so it would be 5% more damage just from having one more level on inspiration. And that's what I might do eventually. Get a get a replica perfect form with +1 all socketed. And it's gonna give you the same level because you're using an empower support. Where is it? There it is. An empower. So it's gonna give a level to the empower itself. That's gonna give you, in my case, it would give me 3 levels instead of 2. And it would give another level to the explosive concoction itself. So I would still get 2 levels, even though it says +1 socketed, right? Yeah, and all you really need is 1 corruption, and that basically enables you to use practically any body armor in the game. Maybe there's even some delve modifiers for level of strength gems, maybe. Yeah, but that wouldn't work for explosive concoction, so never mind. But yeah, really, all you need is 1 corruption on a body armor, and that's it. Especially because you can get level 21, 20 quality explosive concoction of destruction for freaking cheap. I got this one for 50C, I think, so really nothing for level 21, 20 quality gem. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the body armor, and I'm using this one because I didn't want to get the extra levels from Skin of the Loyal. And this body armor enables me to save a lot of points on my skill tree because I don't need to have, I don't need to path to versatile combatant anymore because this body armor gives me versatile combatant, and also isn't that big of an issue. The fact that I dropped all the block nodes basically because this body armor also gives me 20% chance to block attack damage. Yeah, so I did this change. And also why I did this change specifically was because I wanted to get the more evasion into the build. And with 3000 evasion on your body armor, it makes it quite easy, or quote unquote easy, to get to the cap or close to the cap of evasion, which is 95%. As you can see with my Jade Flask, I'm currently at 90%. And I did the PoBing, and if you count in flasks, not flasks, sorry. If you count in blind, which I'm blinding enemies thanks to this cluster heal, I'm actually at the evasion cap. So, and having 95% evasion cap is really strong against attacks. And also I'm at the block cap. Currently not at spell block cap, but 65% block cap is a block cap with the versatile combatant keystone, which my body armor gives me. And all the block you get over your block cap is transformed to the chance to block spell damage, because you get 2% chance to block spell damage per each 1% overcap block chance. So with this keystone, it makes it really easy to cap both block and spell block. However, I'm not spell blocked yet. I would have to get Thread of Hope right here, and that's what I want to do. And might or might not do in the end, I'm not sure, because I feel plenty tanky without it. And I would get a very large Thread of Hope right here, and that would enable me to get to these 2 little nodies here, and that's basically all the rest block I need. I would get a jewel with, I don't know, yeah, better unique jewel. This one. I would get a better version of Replica Reckless Defense, and I would be basically spell block capped. And also it would give me endurance charges while mapping, and Disciple of the Slaughter for minimum frenzy and just a bit more damage. And I could, if I want to, drop Blood Rage and basically just don't use it, because this would give me frenzy charges on kill while mapping. Yeah, so that's what I might do. But yeah, this is the most drastic change I did to the build. Now the rest of the gear, I think the rings are at least the taming is the same. I'm using in the end only 1 taming, not 2. So taming, it gives me, with this perfect roll on the increased ally damage, it's giving me 200% increased ally damage, which is almost a half of my increased ally damage, basically. I'm having like 520 or something, so when this gives me 200, it's on one item, it's a lot. And also gives me a bunch of resist, so I would say at least one taming is a great choice for this build. Yeah, the other ring, Amethyst ring, because I wanted character stress and I needed perfect... I basically needed T1 intelligence. And I managed to get a perfect roll on intelligence. And also I qualityed it up. And that, with all of my gear, makes my intelligence 103 exactly. And 103 intelligence is the requirement for level 20 elemental penetration, and also for skitterbots, I think. I'm not sure, although at the moment. Yeah, but 103 intelligence is what you need for level 20 ele penetration. And if you're wondering why is ele penetration so expensive, because it cannot drop naturally. You have to combine the... You have to basically do a vendor recipe of getting level 20 cold, fire, and lightning penetration. It can be corrupted or not corrupted, doesn't matter. Although it cannot be level 21. It has to be exactly level 20. So get all three penetration at level 20. And then get Replica Bitter Dream and sell all these 4 items to the vendor. And they're gonna give you a bunch of gems and elemental penetration gem. And it's cheaper that way, because if you would like to buy, basically last time I checked for raw ele penetration on the trade, it was over 100 chaos. And this way, basically getting all the necessary things and then selling them to the vendor and getting yourself ele pen this way, you're gonna save, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 C, something like that. Yeah, so if you want to do that. And I'm using Elipen just because Elipen works every time on basically any enemy in the game. And the only thing I would use instead of Elipen is crit damage support. And crit damage support doesn't give you that much on rare monsters that are crit resistant, right? So this and in the end they're about the same on the damage side. So I'm using Elipen. Yeah. The rest on my ring is I really needed at least, I think, 1 accuracy roll somewhere. So I'm getting accuracy on a ring. I was fortunate enough to get this one. And it was, I was quite surprised. It was quite hard to get, like, decent rare items. Like, they weren't even on a trade. So, I was quite surprised. Yeah, Replica Dragon's Fang for +3 levels. Helmet, yeah, basically the same story as for my ring. I was quite surprised how hard it is to get just, in my opinion, basic items. Yeah, but I snapped this one. This is a really good one. Lots of life, decent evasion. I wanted life regen into the build because degens and physical damage are, or basically dots and physical damage are the biggest weaknesses of this build. So I wanted to get at least some life regen, and as you can see, I don't have a lot currently, just 200 life regen at all times, and the spike is thanks to my mastery on the skill tree. So, but it's at least something. When you actually combine it with leech, it's not that bad recovery, even without a life flask. Yeah, so bunch of resists, life regen, life evasion, that's it. And the implicit, I may actually change the increased effect of non-damaging ailments, because if you look at the gameplay showcase on Maven, I'm basically having all my elements capped. So I may have gone a bit overkill on the effect of non-damaging ailments, and I may remove this implicit to reservation and do some changes on the skill tree again. Yeah, gloves. basically the same story, just basic gloves, but these were really hard to get with life regen, life, and chaos res. For some reason, it's really hard to get gloves like these, and it was they were so non-existing that I basically had to search for any base, so I ended up with freaking energy shield base and not even evasion base. So that's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, there was really not many options. So got these. Rolled the spell suppress and intimidate as the implicits. Boots, exactly the same story as my ring, helmet, and gloves. And here you really want to get open suffix to be able to craft the chance to avoid elemental ailments. Then craft chance to avoid elemental ailments on the prefixes. And then I have a 34 chance to avoid elemental ailments on my shield. And the rest, I think 20 or something, or 19 actually, as you can see here, is from my skill tree. Sorry. Yeah, but the story for a shield, just get a... Spell suppression might be ideal, because spell suppression on a shield can roll higher than spell suppression on gloves, helmets, or boots. I don't know about helmets, but certainly more than on a boots or gloves. So it's ideal to get spell suppression, because basically this one spell suppression roll implicit on my gloves and the skill tree makes me spell suppress kept. So yeah. And bunch of life, some resist if you can. Probably chaos. That would be ideal. But you need the chance to avoid elemental ailments. And as much block as you can get, of course. Yeah, that's important. And the last piece, the belt. I'm using Tides of Time to refill my flasks. And I thought it's going to be a bit too low, like the flask gain on bosses. But it actually isn't. It feels quite decent on bosses. It takes a while till I run through all my flask charges, and that's basically the reason why I am not scaling too much attack speed into this build, because you would burn quickly through your flask charges, and you would have to basically wait till your flask charges are filled again, or you would have to just... You can still attack without flask charges, but your explosive concoction's only gonna do fire damage, and that's like, I don't know, 40% damage loss, and if you count all the multipliers and the loss of ailments and stuff, it's probably like 70% damage loss if you wouldn't have flask charges. So yeah, it also increases the effect of my flasks applied to me, so it increases effect of my diamond and my jade. And getting into that, I'm using Diamond Flask for crit, Jade Flask for lots of evasion, and they don't have 100% uptime at the moment, or yet, but I will figure out a way how I can get 100% uptime on them, and it shouldn't be anything hard. Yeah, but once I get going, basically on bosses, and I apply all my elements and my blind and all my stuff, I don't think I even need the Diamond Flask, because I'm already crit capped without it. So yeah, I might even end up dropping Diamond Flask or something, I'm not sure yet, but yeah. And the rest of my flasks, I thought I'll be able to make it so I have a somewhat of uptime on my 3 of these flasks, because I like to get the maximum resist for the tankiness. But it turns out that yeah, explosive concoction really consumes a lot of charges, and I certainly, as you can see, wouldn't be able to sustain my flasks and at the same time be able to still attack. Although I might try to figure out a way how to get it, but It would be hard. It would certainly be hard because I would lose the increased charge recovery enchant on these basically. So yeah, that's why I basically never touch these flasks, and only flasks I have affecting me are these two, diamond and jade. Sorry. And yeah, for the skill gems, using explosive concoction of destruction, great volley, and level up projectile gems is good because it's going to increase level of greater volley, and levels to greater volley give you less of a downside on the less damage, less projectile damage line here. So yeah, getting levels there is not bad. Then Empower should upgrade this to level 4. Would be a great damage upgrade because that would make my Concoction be level 30, and after level 30 I don't think it's that worth to scale levels up even more. So need to work on that. Get a level 4 Empower. Elemental Penetration, LE damage with attacks, should get Awaken eventually. And Inspiration, as I said, I should get a body armor with all socketed skills. That would make my Inspiration level 25 and I would get 5% more damage that way. The rest of the gems is Flesh and Stone. Keep it in Sun Stance for the defense, for the less damage taken, or less damage from enemies. Skitterbots for Shock and Chill, and also give you 2 extra elements to your taming. Grace for evasion, of course, and precision. And I might eventually get a Watcher's Eye precision with flash charge on crit. Then Blood Rage, Assassin's Mark with Mark on hit, and I may end up switching Assassin's Mark to a Sniper's Mark, because as I said, I think I'm overcapped a lot, so on crit. So I may end up even dropping Assassin's Mark and switching it for Sniper's Mark. We shall see. Then Steel Skin goes a long way for the bleed removal, and also the 1500 buff basically is a good thing too. But the main thing here why to have it is the bleed removal. Linked with automation and LE weakness. I'm just leveling. I've just basically leveled LE weakness. LE weakness is another thing I need to get to the build. Would pump me from 6 million to 7,200,000 damage basically. If I would get additional curse, Whispers of Doom, anoint on my amulet, then I could use LE weakness and it would pump my DPS even more. So that's what I'm gonna do eventually. Or you have an option to use the unique chest that gives you bunch of chaos res. It's an evasion base. Your curses can be inflicted on hexproof enemies and gives you additional curse. That's also an option. Might look into that one. Yeah. Then flame dash for some teleporting basically, and then just shield charge faster attacks with power charge on critical. I used to have it linked with crit chance to basically give me even power charges even easier, but it would take the mana cost to I think some 12 to 14, and that started being a bit annoying while trying to traverse long distances. So I took the crit out and keep it like this. Alright, and now the last thing. Oh, not this. The skill tree. I did my ascendancies. Basically, I think I had 2 in the first update or in the first video. So I took quality of all skill gems. Goes a long way, especially for the Concoction of Destruction, because quality on Concoction of Destruction gives you reduced flask charges used. So instead of 15, I'm having 26 reduced flask charges used. And also gives you quality to basically every skill. And that means even Sniper's Mark, and Sniper's Mark gives you chance to gain power charge to the marked enemy when hit. And thanks to this, basically, I'm having 8% chance to gain power charges when the enemy is hit. And As you might see in the boss showcase, I was having power charges even while fighting bosses, just thanks to quality on Assassin's Mark. And also level of all non-exceptional support gems, just overall damage, right? And also defense. Yeah, the rest of the skill tree, sorry. The beginning didn't change. Currently, I hit level 90 yesterday, and all I did was take this socket, and I'm planning to buy a rare jewel now because I don't have a currency to buy a thread of hope, and I may sorry, I may not even do thread of hope in the end, just because I don't feel like I need the tankiness. I think the suppression is enough, so I might just drop all spell block and be just attack block and attack block kept and call it a day. Yeah, took these notes to make my mana a bit easier. One leech note really important, and the onslaught on kill. I dropped the Rodgut flask, so I'm not having onslaught anymore while bossing. But yeah, as I said, I don't even want to scale too much attack speed to the build, and someone was honking outside. Sorry. Yeah, the attack speed with just blood rage and frenzy charges on bosses. This feels good to play. Not saying that I couldn't get more, but it feels good to play. It isn't annoying, so that's why I don't mind losing onslaught on bosses too much. The blind for basically blind and then crit, but the really important stuff here are the cluster jewel. You need 26% AoE, as I said in the first video, and basically the widespread destruction, throwing threat, and magnifier give me exactly the 26 increased AoE that I need. And yeah, then Secrets of Suffering, the interrogation jewel for the alternative ailments. And I got a Watcher's Eye. Believe it or not, these Watcher's Eye with just Grace Evade are insanely cheap. I got this one for not even a divine, perfectly rolled, and shiny one, perfectly rolled for a divine, maybe not even. Take my money. And as you can see, it pumps up my chance to evade by a lot, by 8% basically, and getting basically flat 8% chance is a great deal. Yeah, sorry, I'm still coughing a bit. Yeah, also area of effect on auras is nice, and the reservation for your area of effect on your flesh and stone. Then the rest, lethal pride. I don't know if I included this in my first video, but I got lethal pride basically as soon as I could. And I got a combination with chance to deal double damage, of course. And I wanted actually to get fire resistance on nodes, because it would make my gearing a lot easier. And without the fire resistance nodes, I wouldn't be fire capped. And with how hard it was to get actually basic gear, I don't think there's a way I'm being res capped without lethal pride. And also it basically fixes all my strength issues. Gives me, I think, 83 strength or something. Yeah, but 20 fire res, 5 double damage, stun threshold is nothing, fire res, double damage, so that's 10 double damage, 40 fire res, maximum life, and another 20 fire res, which makes it 60. That makes gearing a lot easier. And other cluster jewel setup, I went with block cluster. So I did get a martial prowess because that was I needed a bit of extra percent accuracy, and I still need, because yeah, this is my current hit chance, 96 and 88 against evasive. I know it looks really bad. I know I need more, but the thing is, I'll probably level up my precision a bit more. And the other thing is also, I can get a jewel with at least 1% accuracy roll, and you absolutely need to count in blind for your accuracy. So thanks to blind, I'm basically kept against non-evasive and well over 90% against evasive monsters. So it is not that bad. It isn't as bad as it looks. Yeah, but for the rest of the cluster, prodigious defense for basically block and increase damage. And strike leader, again, block, increase damage. And one medium cluster jewel I think is needed with spiked concoction and fasting, just for the flask charges gained, increased. And yeah, the reckless defense. And I'm a sucker for these medium crit cluster jewels, because medium crit cluster jewels give you lots of crit, and especially pressure points is maybe my favorite node on a cluster jewel by far, because crits double damage chance and at the same time gives you crit chance. Stack a bunch of these, combine it with lethal pride, and all of a sudden you really feel the chunky double damage crits. And yeah, I'm gonna get one more medium cluster like this, which I already have prepared. And the good thing about these, they cost nothing. Really nothing. You can get this one for 40, even less. The cheapest one was, I think, for Tanky. I'm gonna hit him with the salt, slash DND. Yeah. So that's the clusters. I'm gonna level a bit more. Leveling was a bit slow because I did spend a lot of time in Delph. I killed 3 bosses already. And yeah, in Delph, with this build, since it doesn't have any explosions or you need to basically stop to deal your damage, I figured that in Delph with this build I won't actually be killing monsters while I'm traveling with the creeper, with the cart. And I'll be just rushing and going to dark areas, just collecting the loot, and then actually killing the monsters at the destination. So I wasn't getting much XP in Delph, but I stayed for, I don't know, hour, 2 hours just in maps, and I went from, I think, 84 to 90 in 2 hours basically, or something like that, on a basic maps just with strong boxes. Nothing really crazy. Yeah. And I think I'll stay in maps for a bit longer because strong boxes are fun, and at the same time I really want to get this. I really want to get a couple more levels, maybe 4 levels more or something, to be able to do some changes on the skill tree and stuff. Yeah, so that's the build currently. You can expect next update to be... maybe you can even expect me having another unique, different body armor in the next update. I'm not sure yet. I'm basically trying what I feel like doing, and yeah, so far so good. The build is fine. The build is great, actually. It is, in my opinion, a perfect combination of being tanky and having DPS. And if you're wondering how much currency is currently in the build, it's around 19 divines, but as always, in this event, I'm for some reason so unlucky on linking and coloring my body armors. This wasn't colored and wasn't linked, and yeah, took me a couple divines, I think 2 or 3 divines just in the tainted fusings to link the body armor, and took me another I think 3 divines just in chromatics. And it shouldn't be that hard to get 3 red, 2 green, 1 blue, right? Shouldn't be that hard if you just take into consideration that it's just random. But so you're most likely to get all the 3 colors, and yeah, shouldn't be that hard, right? But yeah, for some reason I spent like 6 divines on trying to color and link the chest again. So in the end, if you can get corrupted and with the 6 link already, I saw there were, I think, 2, one for 4 divines, one for 10 divines. Yeah, for 10 divines you're never really gonna sell it. I don't think so, because why would anyone use this body armor? I don't think anyone's using this body armor, so you're not selling it for 10 divines, and 4 divines I think is respectable, but I bought this one with the corruption for a divine. It just popped on trade when I was trying to search for it, so I bought it for a divine, and then yeah, unfortunately I had to spend 6 divines on trying to color it and link it. Yeah, that happens. I'm usually quite lucky on coloring and like average lucky on linking, but in this event it's going bad for some reason. Yeah, but that happens. That happens. And also one more thing, how to increase your damage. Your best friend in this build are rare jewels, and that's why I'm considering dropping the Thread of Hope, because I want to get actually more jewel sockets to be able to have rare jewels, because if you would have just a triple crit multi-jewel, and I think you can get triple crit multi for divine too, something like that, just a basic triple crit multi-jewel that isn't anything expensive, it would increase my DPS by 1,000,000. Each single jewel with just triple crit multi. So yeah. And also the next upgrade, Whispers of Doom, straight up a million and a quarter DPS to the build. Yeah. But guess we'll have to see how the build will end up, basically. So yeah, the PoE is going to be in the description. Thank you very much for watching till the end. And the build's going great. Hope for ones that are playing something similar or just testing it or something, they're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. And as I said, if you want to improve the clearing aspect, which is the worst part of this build, I think, just get Orions and drop a diamond or maybe a ruby flask. If you have enough damage, you could potentially drop a unique ruby flask for clearing, get Oriats, and that should help you with clearing a lot. Hopefully in next update I'll be having Oriats End, and I'll be showcasing a map with Orions End. Yep. So again, thank you very much for watching, Exiles, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.